What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining into today's video. First off, before I go any further, I just want to say thank you to all my new subscribers. I've had a lot of new subscribers on here and it makes me really happy, and I'm very grateful for each one of you. It just makes me so happy to know that you guys enjoy my content. Well, today's video is a little bit different than my normal home tours because if you have been following me for a while, I did upload a few videos about my journey and the beginning of our pool construction. I'll go ahead and link the video right up here in case you guys want to catch up. So today's video is obviously, as you can see from the thumbnail, it's an update and to let you guys know that our pool is finally 100% complete. Now again, I just want to share the progress and how it all went, and obviously it was very frustrating. Like I had mentioned, I was stressing a whole lot at the beginning, and so I'm glad that's finally over because those days are over. All that stressing is all gone. I'm just so happy and I feel so relieved that all of that is over, all that stress, all that frustration that I was feeling in these past few months. Now there are still a few things that are pending, and one of them is the fire pit, and I'll show you guys. I'll go ahead and walk you guys all around in just a few minutes. So the fire pit, apparently there's a shortage with the burners, so they can't locate any of the burners, and the burner is basically what's going to make the flame horizontal, like long ways all around the fire pit. So there's been an order and then it got canceled because it was no longer in stock and the manufacturer is not stocking up on them, and so the pool contractor is just trying to locate these burners. So as of now we haven't been able to use our fire pit, although here in Texas the heat is basically year-round. We do get maybe 2-3 months of just really cool temperature, but that's not until like after Christmas, somewhere around the new year. But we have had a few cold fronts since the end of summer. So once fall started, it still felt a lot like summer here in Texas. But like I said, we have had a few cold fronts and we really wished we had the fire pit ready because the kids really enjoy making some marshmallows and roasting s'mores and stuff like that. So about the pool, we are also pending on a few things, and one of them is the fittings, and these were actually just done a few weeks ago, just literally like last week. We had the fittings, and these are where all the water rotation is coming in through, and so we didn't have all of them put in. So finally, just last week, the pool contractor was out here and he installed them, but there's one in the spa that is just not being able to attach the fitting, and I'll show you guys in just a minute of what I'm talking about. Another thing that was pending, but it was also just done last week, was the autofill. So the autofill in a pool is if your water level is running low, it automatically fills in, so you don't have to throw in the water hose and stuff like that. So that wasn't even on, and it wasn't connected since we filled our pool. So we have been using the pool since we filled it, although like I said, summer is over, but we still have a lot of like warm temperatures. We have been able to enjoy the pool just a little bit, except for today. We've had some rain and cold fronts coming in for this week of November the 1st, and so yeah, so we have heated the spa and the kids absolutely love that. That's like their favorite thing. They love turning on the bubblers, and you know, the spa gets nice and warm and then they jump into the cold, which is in the pool, and I don't know how they do that because I have tried it and I can't. That's just not for me. So let me go ahead and walk you guys over there and just walk you guys all around and show you guys the pool. Okay, so here is our pool, and this is from the view of our back door. As you exit the house, this is our view right here, and all these windows that you see here are the living room windows, and then right on that over there is our bedroom. So we get all this view to our backyard and to our pool, which is a really gorgeous pool. I love waking up and just having this beautiful view. I'm very grateful for that. Now this is without the water features on. We do have 3 waterfalls, or scuffers as some of you might know them. The switch is right here, and we can also manage it through our phone. So all you have to do is open this up, and then you start up the scuffers this way. And so as you can see, we have 3, and I should have probably done this on a better day. Today is like raining and super cold. But I know I had promised you guys this video. I tried filming last month, but it was just such a bumpy month for us. We've all been sick. I'm still kind of stuffy with sinuses, and like we kind of took turns. One week I was really down, then my kids started the following week, and then we got better, and then we got sick again. So it's been really you know, busy and tough for us. This past October, I'm sorry, October was like, we were all sick the entire month. And so I really tried filming for y'all, but honestly I did not have the energy to do this video any sooner. And so I know a lot of you have been commenting and asking about my pool, and I just wanted to do this for you guys so I can update you. But apparently it started raining just actually a few minutes ago. But yeah, here it is. Here's the pool, the scuffers. I love the sound. Right now that we have cooler weather when it's not raining, I do like opening our windows and just listening to the water features. I think it's so relaxing. Or even when I'm out here with the kids, you know, I like to come out here and just sit. You know, it's just much more enjoyable to go to your backyard when you have a pool. And so I really love listening to the calming sound of the waterfalls. So I'll turn this off. I don't think you guys can see the lights, but I'll show you a little clip of what they look like at night. We have lights in the pool and in the spa. We have bubblers, which also the pool, you can have two different modes. You have like a really bubbly one or like a nice calm one, which is my favorite one. And so this is the way I designed the pool. This is the way that I wanted it and visualized it. This is what I always visualized it as. Now the pool contractor did have its own designs, which I didn't like any of them. A lot of pool contractors try to go with lagoons, but I know nowadays the more modern you know, type of pools are, I guess, more in high demand. And so I know I just really like this style. I don't like the lagoon. It's nice, but it's just not for me. We did go ahead and added some glass tiles, and I'll show you guys that right here. These beautiful glass tiles shimmer so beautifully in the sun when it's nice and sunny. So we have that also in the raised wall, and then we have them all over the steps right here. And then as you can see, we still have a lot to work on. The landscaping is not 100%. We still have a lot to work on, and what the plan is, we are going to be adding a lot of river or pebble rock all around here, all around that side, and then we're going to add some concrete step stones going out that way to the side of the house. We have all this that we have to move out of the way. And then back there we just recently added those wax myrtles, which is those right there. And they're going to grow really fast, and they're going to all connect, and I'm just going to let that whole fence get covered with those wax myrtles. Right over here we just added these. I really don't know the name of those, but they'll grow bigger as well and just cover a lot of that of the mulch that's over there. Yeah, so this is our pool, you guys. It's finally done. I am loving it. This is the travertine stone that I picked. It looks much darker right now that it's wet. Sometimes it looks lighter. Now this is the stacked stone that I went with. Let me get you guys a closer look. So if you're wondering how long it took us to complete the entire process of building the pool, we started excavation on June the 11th. That was a Friday, and that was because we were rescheduled twice. We were supposed to start 4 days before that, but we had tons of rain, and then we were supposed to start that week, that Wednesday, and we had more rain. So then I honestly thought we were going to be pushed out maybe towards the mid or end of June, because we would just keep getting all these scattered storms and everything was super muddy. But no, they came on a Friday, June 11th. Once they digged out the pool, we waited about another week or so. The following week they came and they did the form of the pool. They added tons of like little wood stacks and stuff like that. And then after that we waited like 2 weeks, and then they would come at least, not every week, they would come at least every 2 to 3 weeks. And then of course they would not come when it was raining, and we had a lot of rain around July, towards the end of July, and then in August we also had a lot of scattered storms. So I think the rain pretty much delayed most of it, because when we did sign the contract back in May, they did promise us that it will be ready in 6 to 8 weeks, but that was not the case, because of course it's all due to the weather. So because we did have a lot of rain when we started, so that kind of delayed everything. But honestly, I think overall pool contractors work at a very slow pace, but these workers work so hard. You know, it just crushed my heart to see how some of the men work in this heat. Here in Texas, it gets seriously very hot. So something that me and my husband did is, like, every time we had a crew, like I said, we didn't know when they were coming, but we always keep extra drinks in the garage. So every time we seen a crew that got here, we'll bring the cooler out, fill it up with ice, and just put a bunch of Gatorades and waters. I think we ordered pizza for 2 of the crews once. We did that for the decking crew, and then we did that for the electrical crew. And we thought the electrical crew was just going to be here for like an hour or 2, but no, they were here from 7 a.m. and they didn't leave until 6 to 7, I believe it was. They were just getting everything pre-wired and getting all the electrical done. And they mentioned to us that they always try to get it done the same day, and then just not come back unless there's an issue or something. So I think that's a nice gesture for you guys to do that if you guys are having workers at your home. You know, here in Texas it gets really hot, and these guys work so hard. So that's just something that made me and my husband feel really good about ourselves. It's just the way we appreciate their hard work. So a total of 11 weeks. That's what it took for our pool to be completed. And like I said, it's still not 100%, but we are able to swim in the time frame of the 11 weeks. The entire pool was complete. So after the 11 weeks, the pool was filled. We filled it up the morning that they did the morning on September 11th. I remember that. We filled it up. We started around 10-11 a.m. and then we left it running overnight with 2 water holes, and it was completed, fully filled, until the following day around noonish. And so the pool contractor had mentioned to us that we're able to jump in and swim if we wanted to. And I mean, the weather was warm, but the water was very cold. And so we did that the first day, but after the 3rd day, the water started getting a little cloudy, and I called him. I said, hey, are you going to come out and work, start running the pumps so we can add chemicals? And he said, yeah, I'll be there tomorrow. Well, it took him 2 weeks to come out, and that's because I kept calling him and emailing him, because I was afraid that we were going to start growing some algae or just like nasty stuff in the pool, because it was just sitting there, and he wasn't here to run the pumps and add chemicals. It was just sitting water there. So I was afraid, for bacteria and all that stuff. So we didn't swim. We only swam the first day. After that, it was just, the water was just sitting there. And he said the reason why it was getting cloudy was because the plaster was going to release a lot of that white powdery stuff. So he says that's normal. He goes, once we start the pumps and we add chemicals, it's all gonna change, and we're gonna get it to nice clear blue water. And so yeah, the water sat there for 2.5 weeks, almost 3, and then he finally came out, turned on the pumps and added chemicals, and then we waited maybe like 2-3 days, and then we jumped in again. And ever since that, we've been swimming. The kids literally would come home after school and want to jump in there, and I did just like being out here. They really enjoy being in the backyard. So yeah, so if you guys are wondering and curious to know, it took 11 weeks for the pool to finally be completed. Alright, so back to the gas line. If you guys remember, on the last video I had mentioned how, or maybe that was the first video, I had mentioned how the excavators that were out here digging out the pool had hit a gas line. Well, that was actually had to be rerouted, so it took us about half a month for the gas company to come out here and do that job. So we had to get that gas line rerouted, and then right after that we did gut night. And gut night is just when they pour all the concrete and shape the pool out, and then we had to wait at least maybe another month for them to come out here and work on the pool once again. Like I said, this whole experience of building a pool, you have to be very patient, and you have to learn how to control your frustration, especially because from my experience and a lot of neighbors and friends that are going through the same process right now, or the same journey, you just can't get any answers from the pool contractors. Once you sign contract and you start the process, construction's gonna take a few weeks, and I think even now, because pools are such in high demand, it's taking up to 18 weeks. Some of them are giving you 20 weeks, and so there's a lot of shortages in certain parts, like for example the pool filters, you know, plumbing, the tiles, stuff like that, that you just have to wait on, and it's just going to extend the term of construction. So yeah, our pool contractor was not very communicative with us at all. They never told us or gave us like a basic schedule of what's going to go on this week or this month. Basically, they just showed up whenever they wanted to. Sometimes I was in the middle of breakfast, in the middle of making lunch, and I just see a bunch of men just walking to my backyard, and I come to realize that it's the workers. Oh, okay, electrical's here, or plumbing is here, or they're going to do the tile, or whatever it was. I never got a phone call, a text, or an email. They just really showed up whenever they wanted to. And whenever I had any issues or concerns or questions, I had to call the office. I would leave a voicemail because there was never an answer. No one ever answered these phones, and I wouldn't get a call back until maybe the following week or two. So it's very frustrating having to deal with a pool contractor that does not communicate with you at all. And like I said, according to all of my friends and their experiences and some of the neighbors, we're all on the same page. These people do not care. They just sign the contract, they start the construction, and they move on to the next client. And so they try to work on your pool whenever I guess they can. I mean, honestly, I don't know what the delay is. I don't know if they maybe have too many accounts, too many pools all in one month. I don't know exactly what the cause of no communication whatsoever. I would at least love a schedule and say, hey ma'am, within the following days you're gonna have plumbing or electrical crew or decking crew or whatever, you know, just to make us aware. So we didn't have any of that. Communication was a zero. It was not professional at all. Another thing was also the decking. When they came out to do decking, which is the plumbers actually did not install the gutter connectors that we wanted to, and honestly I don't know if that's going to be fixed or not. But every time I speak to the pool contractor, he says I'm waiting on the plumbers or on the decking crew, and I'll show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, so when they did our decking and spray deck, I was completely satisfied with their overall work. But if you can see over in that corner, we do have gutters right here that connect to the decking, so then the plumbing goes under there. Look at that ugly connection. I don't like that white pipe sticking out like that, and I wanted something that is called a gutter connector, and I'll show you guys what that looks like. And that is something that I've been bugging Dennis about. Dennis is my pool contractor. That's something I've been texting him, I email him, and every time I get a chance to talk to him, I tell him about these connectors, that I don't like these. And we have 1, 2, 3 on the side of the house, and then we have 2 here, which is this one, and then right behind this pillar in our patio. And it just looks very unprofessional. It's not nice to look at compared to the other one. And it's something very simple, very easy that they can do. And my husband says, well, if they don't get it done, apparently he's gonna have to do it himself. But this is not something that we should have to worry about, since we are paying so much money for this project. It should have been included. So when I did tell him that, he said, oh, I didn't realize that they had installed those pipes there. I thought they were going to do the gutter connectors. Well, yeah, you know, another thing, that the pool contractor was never on site. Whenever the workers were here, he was never here. So of course he was not going to be aware of the type of pipe that had laid on the gutters, because he was never here. Apparently he does go to other job sites, but I guess he says he only goes there whenever there's like a huge issue or trouble or whatever the case is. But as far as my experience, he was never here. The last time I saw him was when we signed the contract, and then I never saw him after that until the workers hit the gas pipe, and he came after, maybe the week after. But overall, I didn't see him anymore. He wouldn't call me. I would call, I would leave voicemails, emails, and it took them forever to get back to me. But I mean, we're here now, you know, we're in November already, and I am really happy that we are completed. And although not 100%, because like I said, we still need that fitting in the spa. I really hope they fix our gutter connectors, and then we're still trying to locate the fire pit burner. And so let me show you guys the fire pit. Okay, so this is our fire pit right here, and the burner is not available as of yet. And this red rock that he added on here, I clearly told him I did not want it red, I wanted it black. So he didn't have it in stock, but he says it's okay because you're not going to be that red rock is not going to be visible. That's just to fill in the entire fire pit hole. So we're going to top it off with the black rock whenever the burner comes in. And then we ordered some sectionals, and we ordered a dining table with beautiful chairs, and that's not going to come in maybe towards the end of this month, so I'll have a separate video with an with a patio furniture makeover type of thing, I guess you can say. And then of course I'll do a landscaping video once it's all completed, because we still have a lot to work on. Everywhere where you see this orangey muddy sand, it's all going to be filled with pebble rock all the way around the pool, all the way back there on the side. And I don't know if you guys can tell, but I stained my fence, and I did it myself. I'm so proud of myself, except for this side. I have to complete this side because I ran out of the oil paint, so I have to go get more. And then this is where our equipment is located. All this will be a beautiful dark gray pebble rock all the way around. And I'm really excited and can't wait for those wax myrtles to start growing and start covering most of the fence back there. Another issue that we've had is the spa always seems to be dirty. We do have a vacuum that goes on twice a week. And that only goes around the pool. We've never actually placed it in the spa, but the pool contractor did recommend for us to get like a manual one and just kind of vacuum all that up. So I guess that's something that we have to do. This is where the other fitting goes that we can't seem to fit it in, right in that little hole right there, you can see. We need to fit it with a fitting that looks like this, kind of. You can see that white one right there, that little one in that corner right there. So this is a bigger one, but we can't seem to fit it in. So he's gonna try to get the gunite crew, not the gunite, the person that did the that plaster, I'm sorry, the plaster crew to come out and try to fit it in there. Yeah, what else? So these are the skimmers. We have 2 on each side. And then this is the autofill. Another thing that we have to do in here is vacuum all this sand and dirt and rocks that are in here, because you can't really see it in camera, but way down there underneath, it's just filled with sand and rocks, and I think that's just what's making the pool super dirty, because that water is rotating back and forth into the pool. That's another thing that the pool contractor didn't do when he opened up the autofill. He literally just opened it and allowed all that dirty water to go into our pool. That water was honestly sitting there since we filled it. That was in September, and he just opened up the autofill last week. So it was just so upset. It was very upsetting, because I've been keeping up with the pool chemicals. I've been keeping up with maintaining the pool chemistry, and I've been doing a really good job. And then he just came and released a bunch of dirty water into my pool. Very upsetting. Alright guys, so anyways, overall I am very satisfied with the end result of my pool. Is there any questions that you guys have for me? Leave them in the comments down below. Something that I just want to kind of point out and let you guys know is that I do kind of have a little bit of regrets with the stacked stone color that I went with. When I seen it at the what is that, at the design center, you can only do so much with a little 2x2. You can only visualize it because it's such a small piece. It's like, what am I gonna do with this little piece? Visualize an entire wall. So when I seen it at the design center, it was a beautiful shimmery gray stacked stone. Now once it's fully installed, I like it. It's really pretty and all, but there was another one that had a little bit of beige tones, and I think that would have gone a little bit much more with my house brick and stuff. But anyways, I love it anyway. But just keep in mind, I know when you guys are building a pool or a home, they give you little tiny sample pieces, and it's so hard to visualize it of what it's going to look like. So my recommendation is maybe ask them to show you pictures of colors that they've already worked with, or like, you know, people or customers that have chosen those colors. Maybe you guys can see a picture of image of what it looks like once the job is complete. Everything else, I mean, it really just went well, just the way I wanted it to be. So if you guys have any questions for me, please let me know in the comments, and I'll gladly respond back to you guys. Thanks again for watching today's video. I hope this was helpful, and thanks for watching. I'll see you guys soon.